You're good to go.
Thanks, Eric.
You're
In
good.
shape. All right, I will call this January 25th, 2022 meeting of Lawrence County Board of Commissioners to order. Will all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Ginny, would you lead us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And all please remain standing for a brief moment of silence. Thank you. Vanessa, please call the roll.
Commissioner Steelvogel?
Here.
Commissioner Vogler?
Here.
Commissioner Boyd?
Here. Row officer reports and comments. I'm looking at the audience today. I'm not seeing any representatives of any row offices with us. Public comments. Do we have any person here wishing to make public comment? Seeing none. Fiscal and contractual. I'm going to apologize in advance, by the way, for my raspy voice. I'm recovering from a cold. It's not COVID. I am recovering from a cold. Depository properties. We have 5 on deck today. First on deck, and this will be resolution 2022-16. Thank you. Which reads, now therefore be resolved by Lawrence County Board of Commissioners that the board is authorized to execute the bid acceptance form accepting the payment by Thomas Wall in the amount of $550 for depository property located at North Locust Street, having parcel ID number 01-048700, City of Newcastle. I will note that the municipality has signed off on the request. I do not believe that the school district has submitted either a confirmation or a denial. So are there any questions or comments on 2022-16? Seeing none, I'll take a motion to approve 2022-16.
So moved.
Second. The motion is second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, question on the motion. Vanessa, please call the roll.
Commissioner Steelvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyd?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Up next, 17. Now, if it be resolved by Lawrence County Board of Commissioners, the board is authorized to execute bid acceptance form accepting the bid made by Freddie Rivera in the amount of $500 for repository property located at Newell Avenue, having parcel ID number 07-029500, City of Newcastle. Again, I'll note this was signed off on by the appropriate municipal officials approving the bid at the city level. School district did not return requests. Any questions, comments on this one?
No.
Hearing none, I'll take a motion to approve 2022-17.
So moved. Second.
Motion is second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, question on the motion. Vanessa, please call the roll.
Commissioner Steelvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyd?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. 2022-18. Freddie Rivera, $500 repository property located at Newell Avenue, parcel ID number 07-029400, City of Newcastle. As with the last one, the city has signed off on it. School district did not return request. Any questions, comments?
No.
Hearing none, I'll take a motion for 2022-18.
So moved.
The
Second.
motion is second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, question on the motion. Vanessa, please call the roll.
Commissioner Steelvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyd?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Jeff Neal for $600 repository property located at North Mulberry Street, parcel ID number 03-086400 in the City of Newcastle. The municipality, in this case, the City of Newcastle, signed off. School district did not return the request. Any questions, comments on this?
No.
Hearing none, I'll take a motion to approve 19.
So moved. Second.
The motion is second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, question on the motion. Vanessa, please call the roll.
Commissioner Steelvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyd?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Jeff Neal, $600 North Mulberry Street, parcel ID number 03-212700, located in the City of Newcastle. Municipal officials have signed off on it. No return from the school district. Any questions, comments on this?
No.
Hearing none, I'll take a motion to approve 20.
So moved. Second.
The motion is second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Question on the motion, Vanessa, please call the roll.
Commissioner Steelvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyd?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. We have no advertising bids or proposals, no receipt of bids or proposals. We do have warrant registers from January 21st, 19th, 14th, and 12th. I'll give my colleagues probably more than a minute to check those over.
Thank you.
And when they're ready, I will take a motion to accept and file the warrant register. The warrant register is a culmination of the county's fiscal process. It starts whenever a department head needs anything from Staples to a subscription to a trade magazine. The department head fills out a purchase order. That purchase order gets sent down to the controller's office, who checks to make sure that the amount is in their budget. Purchase order gets encumbered. In the budget, that's been sent up to us, the purchase order, where we can either sign off or not sign off. The Board of Commissioners takes 2 signatures to approve anything from Staples to Selden Courthouse. Once and if we sign off on it, then gets sent back down to the Controller's office, who authorizes the treasurer to pay out the purchase order. And from there, the Controller's office records what is known as the Warrant Register, which are these documents here, which are then sent to us, and we accept or deny, although I don't think that's ever happened. Just as a final stopgap to make sure that all the purchases made by the county are made appropriately.
Sometimes we put them on hold for a little while, but usually we get them worked out.
I wonder what would happen if we ever deny. I mean, if we ever flat out denied one. It'd be an interesting one.
Or didn't approve the warrant register.
Yeah. What the hell was that trigger?
I don't think it would be fun.
No, that would probably be something on 4-3.
And I guess that's what the whole entire checks and balances system is about, you know?
Oh,
But
it's,
it doesn't get to that point. So. I will make that motion to approve all 4 of the warrant registers.
motion.
Second the motion.
We have a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, question on the motion. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Up next, approval of the minutes for Tuesday, January 18th, 2022. Give my colleagues a minute to check those over and take a motion to approve the minutes or make any changes as necessary and expedient. I see there was a question as to where Commissioner Boyd was. Commissioner Boyd was trapped in Florida. But there are worse places to be stuck. But that's where I was last week. We tried to get home, just couldn't make it work.
I don't think people were traveling much anywhere.
Yeah, it was.
Right.
You missed that foot of snow.
Yeah.
I'm not complaining. I'm just saying that's where I was.
Pretty uneventful, as you can see through the minutes. I will make that motion to accept the minutes.
I'll second.
We have a motion to second. Is there any further discussion or non-question motion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We have no presentation of written communications today. Any staff reports here above and beyond what's already on the agenda? Seeing none. Commissioner reports and comments. I have none today. We're ready to run that.
Just everybody stay safe and warm and careful on the roads, because you know those trucks can only get to where they can get to in limited amounts of times, and it is what it is. You know, that would be it. Just try to be safe out there. It's winter in Western PA. Okay. That's it.
All right, Dan?
That's all I have.
Thank you,
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, very much. Two things. One to, I think we said this last week, but it bears repeating. Express our appreciation to our maintenance staff
Oh, yes.
who come in at some ungodly hour of the morning and plow and shovel and throw salt and anti-skid and around the parking lots and the sidewalks. And I need to make note of the fact that, as we've said many, many times, we don't maintain streets or roads.
Right.
County doesn't do that. That's either PennDOT or the local municipality. But again, our maintenance staff, as far as the taking care of getting the sidewalks and
Yes.
parking lots taken care of, they work wonders. So we appreciate that. Secondly, Commissioner Spillvogel and I will be traveling to Harrisburg later this week for the meeting of the County Commissioners Association of Pennsylvania Board of Directors. And we've noted a few times that Commissioner Spillvogel is now the treasurer of that board, which puts her on the executive committee.
And I survived my first official meeting yesterday afternoon.
Was that the finance?
Yes,
What was that?
finance committee.
Finance.
Yeah. Yes.
And so she has more meetings to go to than I do. I'm on the board, but her being on the executive committee requires her to attend quite a few more meetings than I have to. So we'll be doing that. And haven't done this for a while. I got a real quick piece of trivia.
Oh, boy.
There's no prize or anything. It's just a little fact that I will share. And actually, it was an old email I came across from our dear friend Alan Miller.
Oh.
And the question had come up.
Put that phone away. Don't you be looking at anything.
No, I'm just gonna-
No, I'm teasing.
I Google pulled up, we were behind the thing they couldn't see.
Actually, maybe I will ask this in the form of a question. Does anybody happen to know where the highest point in Lawrence County is? Maybe we did this a few months ago, but where is the highest elevation in Lawrence County? I even have the exact street address or road address for it.
Oh, we're getting that.
Anybody want to venture a guess?
Is it up in Hell's Hollow?
I was thinking
You're
the same
close.
area
You're very
by
close.
Moraine. So you're close at Hell's Hollow. So is it,
Perry Township.
No, actually, it's
Is it like Cleveland Rock? There, closer?
no, which is, as Mr. Boyd just said, that's in Perry Township, but Hell's Hollow's in Slippery Rock Township, so you got
It's
the right, you got the right
Is there a
township.
sign there that acknowledges that?
Not to my knowledge. It is in Slippery Rock Township.
let me think of where I had to drive when one of my children were small and this city girl said, where is it that you live at?
It's not I think you would go past it and not think that it was the highest point. It's not like a big mountain peak.
Oh.
But I'll give you the answer. It's 1953 Fairview School Road, which is about a mile south of the village of Princeton. So
Okay.
you can win a trivia contest with somebody telling them where the highest point in the county is. Anybody want to take a guess on the lowest point?
Have to be, is it Mahoning
Oh,
Township?
it's Mahoney Town.
Yeah.
No. Good guesses, but no.
Lowest point.
Lowest point in the county.
Loveville?
I'm sorry?
Loveville?
No.
What about Pennsylvania Avenue?
No.
No, in the
Good
Shenango
guess.
Township
Good
area?
guess. No.
The Elwood area.
Getting warm.
Down by Wampum?
Uh,
Down by Wampum?
Wayne?
It's Wayne
It's
Township.
not Rock Point, is it?
You got it.
Oh.
Amy wins. It's where the Beaver River and
Nice.
Pompanesett Creek meet at the old Rock Point Park in Wayne Township.
Winter,
That's-
winter, chicken dinner.
There you go.
So anyhow, thank you for allowing me
Thanks for
the
class.
little trivia.
Hey.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Absolutely.
Great.
All right, next on deck, and we'll make this resolution 2022-20.
21.
Oh, we're okay. Should have known that. We have our Deputy Tourism Director here with us today, Jenny Jacob. Jenny, thank you for joining us. With a resolution supporting America 250 PA. I want to say last year, we received a request from America 250 PA, which is a state-sponsored commission, to appoint a resident to their advisory board. I'm gonna let Jenny talk a little bit more about specifically what that advisory board does, but I did want to note that since serving on that advisory board, I know you've been to Harrisburg at this point already,
Yeah.
haven't you?
Yep.
At events with the governor, with different dignitaries from across Pennsylvania, getting ready to celebrate the 250th anniversary of United States of America, right?
Yes.
So if you'd be able to approach the bench, just because that's where our audio equipment is to pick it up for our minutes. Again, thank you for joining us today. It's always a pleasure to have you with us.
Yeah, so do you just want me to get brief overview of America 250?
Sit down.
Okay.
Please,
Yeah.
yes.
All right, so my role as a county advisory is to basically be the liaison between Lawrence County, the commissioners, and the state. So my job is to keep everyone informed, anything that's going on. I have to represent Lawrence County in the capacity of America 250 PA. It's America 250, so it's celebrating 250 years of America, but PA was the first one to actually establish a committee to celebrate the United States, but specifically PA. So then after this, you're gonna have like in Ohio, and so on and so forth. But Pennsylvania is the first to do it. So they're asking for resolutions between all 67 counties. Just have a partnership between America 250 PA, the state, and the county. So that is why I am here asking.
So what effectively the commission is doing is it's planning for and I'm not going to be able to pronounce this, semi-quincentennial.
Just say 250.
250 for the basically 250th anniversary of the United States, celebrating the history of Pennsylvania, celebrating and commemorating all the contributions that Pennsylvania has made to the United States since the inception of the country. Is that effectively
Yes.
awesome? And you're doing, I will say that since your appointment,
Yes.
you've done such a great job
Oh,
keeping up
thank
to
you.
speed on everything that's going on with this commission. I know we're one of the first, I believe, counties to enter into this resolution. I want to say there are
There's 7 others.
7 others.
Yeah, so I mean, out of 67.
That's great.
Yeah.
Great.
But that's a testament to you.
Yes.
Bringing it to the 3 of us as expeditiously as you did. So, we do appreciate all your work on this, and we appreciate certainly everything you do in addition to this and related to your day job.
Thank you.
But any questions or comments from my colleagues?
I think we picked the right
I
person.
believe so.
No doubt.
I believe so.
And we're gonna, if none of you have an objection, we're gonna take this resolved funding appropriation if applicable out of this.
Always put in wishful thinking. First thing you say is a no.
Oh, absolutely.
But always put it in.
But otherwise, I'm certainly amenable to becoming a partner to America 250 PA. And again, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
And I know the executive director, Cassandra Coleman's gonna wanna come down and take a photo with everybody and bring signage for American 250 PA. So
Absolutely.
they'll probably do that in February, and we'll figure out a date for that.
Absolutely. Make sure she's able to go to lunch afterwards too. We can
Okay,
take you guys to out to eat.
Awesome.
Yes.
I'm sure she knows.
All right, very good.
But on that note, I will take a motion to approve resolution, I'll read the full thing, resolution 2022-21, which is a resolution of the County of Lawrence, Commonwealth, of Pennsylvania, supporting Pennsylvania Commission for the United States, America 250 PA. I'm not considering the word. Whereas the Pennsylvania Legislature and the Governor created America 250 PA in 2018 to plan, encourage, develop, and coordinate the commemoration of the 250th anniversary of the United States and Pennsylvania's integral role in that event and the role of its people and nations past, present, and future. Whereas America 250 PA hopes to engage all Pennsylvanians in all 67 counties throughout their mini signature and officially recognized programs, projects, and events over the next 5 years, inspiring future leaders and celebrating all Pennsylvanians' contributions to the nation over the last 250 years. And whereas by adoption of America 250 PA's 4 pillars of EPIC, we hope to educate, preserve, innovate, and celebrate. Now therefore be resolved, Lawrence County officially establishes an America 250 PA County Commission made up of a diverse group of citizens to work with America 250 PA on any and all activities within Lawrence County. The participants of the Lawrence County Commission will be strictly voluntary rules, and there will be no compensation for participation. I resolve that a copy of this resolution be sent to Lawrence County Legislative Delegation. In this case, Representatives Sonata, Bernstein, and Wetling, as well as Senator Vogel, as well as the America 250 PA Commission. Jenny will give a signed copy of this to you if you want to take care of that portion of this for us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
Okay.
And on that note, did I take a motion yet? I'll take a motion.
Yeah. So moved.
Second.
We have a motion with a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, question on the motion, Vanessa, please call the roll.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyd?
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you. Thank you so much,
Thanks, guys.
Jenny.
Thank you.
Thanks, Judy.
And you're welcome.
Great
You have
work.
other duties that you need to attend to. We
Yeah,
completely.
it's okay, it's time of meeting.
Yeah, we don't
Thank you,
take
guys.
offense. All right, up next, resolution 2022-22. This is almost becoming a routine thing. We're doing another extension on the Wallace Road Bridge Part 1 preliminary design. That bridge continues to be held up by the PHMC. Yeah, I don't really have anything else to say to that one.
No.
God, as we just talked about, history is phenomenal and we want to preserve it. But God bless the regulations. So I'll take, unless there's any questions or comments, I'll take a motion to approve.
Just note for the record, this bridge is in Little Beaver Township, crossing the Little Beaver Creek.
This is the one that shakes when you walk on it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, we'll take a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Question on the motion, Vanessa, please call the roll.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyd?
Yes.
Motion carries.
This is,
Thank you.
we refer to this as the Rick de Blasio Chicken Bridge, because when we went down to visit it, Commissioner de Blasio was in office at the time, and we're standing there looking at the bridge, and all of a sudden, a bunch of chickens are coming over, pecking at the ground, and Rick got a real charge out of it. So, and I think the average daily traffic count is 10.
Yeah, it's
They only get about 10 buses, but they do get a school bus across it.
Yes,
Keep in
yeah, I
mind,
think
one-
that's it.
the school bus might be two.
Yeah,
That's right.
this is it,
That's right.
right? 4 if it's a high school and then elementary.
Yeah, I mean,
There you go.
so it's a bus, it's a bus bridge.
Yeah,
What are you gonna do?
I know.
Assessment office, JR, if you'd be able to approach the bench. We've got a, settlement for, case number 70107 of 2020 MD, parcel ID number 01-041700. What do we have going on here? How you doing, first of all?
Not bad, how are you?
I'm doing all right.
I sound a lot better than you.
Yeah, that's most
Right.
people right now.
In front of you is a resolution for a settlement agreement of the former Eden Park property. It is currently owned by PEC Management, who is now leasing the property to the current tenant, DeSilvio's Restaurant. Pack Management purchased the property about 2 years ago after Eden Park closed, and went ahead and leased it to these gentlemen, filed an assessment appeal, brought in an appraisal, and based off the information in the appraisal, two other taxing bodies, solicitor, myself, and the county solicitor, all felt it was pretty amenable to a resolution. The only thing, and I don't know if it needs to be mentioned in the resolution, and I apologize if it does, but in the settlement stipulation, instead of a refund, they will accept tax credit. So instead of us refunding the money, we'll just reduce their 2022 tax bill. I didn't know if that needed to be put in the resolution or not. It is a part of the settlement that the solicitors will still sign.
Well, the resolution effectively authorizes the signing of the settlement agreement, so I don't see, unless one of my colleagues wants to put it in there, I don't see a reason to.
I guess the only thing I would ask, and I agree, but perhaps how lengthy is the settlement agreement? How thick?
Just 1 year. Oh, no,
How many pages is it?
5 pages.
Could we just attach that to our official record? So if we ever have to refer to
Oh, correct.
it, that would work for me.
Okay.
Thank you.
You want, wait till we get the official signed copy to attach to the resolution?
I think we should.
Yeah.
Got it.
Any questions, comments on this?
And to answer Dan's next question, yes, the other 2 taxing bodies have already approved it, that's why it was delayed.
I think I saw an article on it in the paper the other day, which means it must have gone before Newcastle at the school board.
And since you brought that up, question. The article in the paper, if I read correctly, that the city tax was higher than the school tax?
Correct.
That's unusual, right? Because usually
Is that land building thing?
It's because the city's millage is split between land and building, and depending on the value of the land,
okay,
and in the downtown business district, you do have a higher land value. And each part does encompass almost 2 acres. So that's a lot of land mass for a central business district. So yes, there is quite a few instances where the city tax is higher than the
interesting, right?
school, especially
Why
the
they do it.
industrial land.
Okay, thank you.
All right, I'll take a motion to approve 2022-23.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second, any further discussion, hearing none, question on the motion, Vanessa please call the roll.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyd?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you, thanks, John. Up next, we have the Executive Director of the Redevelopment Authority, Lawrence County, Amy McKinney here for transfer of property 01-1110. That had to have been one of the first parcels of the county.
It's one of those exempt properties that the
Mhm.
county actually owns. It's not like repository property where you guys,
Yes.
you guys actually own this property. And someone's interested in buying it as part of our sidewalk program, so we need you to transfer it to the redevelopment authority so that we can then sell it to them.
I'm on board.
No problem.
Any questions, comments for?
No.
All right, I'll take a motion to approve 24.
So moved.
Second.
The motion is second, any further discussion, hearing none, question on the motion, Vanessa please call the roll.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyd?
Yep.
Motion carries.
Thank you. And up next, we have a number of resolutions, contract with Pyatt's Landscaping for maintenance of county and boat launches, maintenance of Stavish Bike Trail, and maintenance of West Park Nature Center, and now maintenance of Quaker Falls Recreation Park. Amy, I imagine this is probably a pretty simple explanation, but what do we have going on here?
Sure, yeah, pretty simple. We have a contract for each of our sites. The first one would be for our boat launches, which is Bevington, which is on the Beaver, McQuishton, which is on the Shenango, Yon Corp, which is the Mahoney River, and this is for them to mow monthly between April and October. Our contract for the boat launches will not exceed $7,630. This also includes him picking up his garbage too, and kind of being and this is for all sites. The mowing is for the same amount of time, but it's also, he's our second, third set of eyes, lets us know if something's going on, if there's any damage, especially on Sabbath Bike Trail, let us know when there's some damage.
When the beavers come,
Beavers come.
we can alert Steve Craig.
Yes.
They're still there? Did we?
No, I don't think they
We
are.
talked about it,
Yeah, no, we're trying to just make sure for moving forward, we're talking about it, for beaver baffler.
Joe and I have a solution too. We're gonna keep it to ourselves.
It's called a beaver baffler though.
Beaver baffler.
Baffler of beavers.
And,
The envelope opener, and we will also.
So we're working, we are, in terms of establishing the
Okay.
beavers, we're working with the game commission, so.
Okay.
I'll note these are gonna be taken out of Marcel's legacy.
Yes, they're all from Marcellus, and for each of them, they've only increased a little bit, but which is typical every year, I think maybe $100 to $150 each. It's going up our total contract, so.
Amy, you just wanna run through all of them.
Yeah, sure.
In a
So
lump.
that's,
Anybody objects to
that first one was the boat launch, I'm not sure what you had as the second one.
That's 25. Second one is Stavich.
Okay, so for Stavich, yep, mowing, April through October, that's mowing the entire length of the trail, which is, seven miles?
Seven
It's
something,
total-
yeah.
Yeah, it's 11 total, but in the county, he mows all 7 miles. Trash pickup, that's a total of $18,942. That's also mowing the, trailhead as well.
West Park.
Yep, so Savage, West Park, mowing April through October. Brush hogging the mountain bike trails, if you don't remember, there is a bike trail back there as well, an amount not to exceed $10,733.
And Quaker.
And Quaker, our new park for the county, getting in April until October, and he will also, on top of trash pickup and doing the mowing, he's also gonna be doing weed control spray in the rock beds at the entrance to the side.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, no, not to exceed 3,500.
Any questions, comments? Again, this is all being taken out of Marcel's legacy. I'll take a motion to approve resolutions 25 through 28 relating to the maintenance of the county-owned parks and recreation facilities.
So moved.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none. Vanessa, please call the roll.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyd?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Thanks, Ann.
Thanks, guys, appreciate it, have a good day.
Yeah, you too.
You as well, thank you.
Up next, 2022-29, appointing Adam Neff of Blackhawk Neff to the West Central Job Partnership Workforce Investment Board. The workforce, first of all, West Central Job Partnership is Lawrence and Mercer's joint mechanism through which state and federal workforce training dollars flow. They structure the vast majority of all of our workforce training programs, again, in both Lawrence and Mercer counties. The governing board actually consists of 3 commissioners here and then 3 commissioners up in Mercer County. The Workforce Investment Board, we're the governing board. The Workforce Investment Board is arguably the policy board, where a number of individuals in business and nonprofit industries and working in hiring capacities across Lawrence and Mercer counties actually get together and advise the West Central Job Partnership on what programs would be beneficial for them. Whether that would be funding apprentice-based programs, or that would be funding, reimbursement-based programs where if someone's hired, West Central will cover half the cost of that employee's salary for a set period of time. They also work to assess the different needs of each industry operating in Lawrence and Mercer County. So in other words, if through this board a need is identified for truck drivers, West Central has the ability then to shift funding to try to get more truck drivers to come online in Lawrence and Mercer counties. Not the greatest explanation I've ever done, but hopefully it's sufficient. Any questions, comments on this? Again, what we're doing here is appointing Adam Neff of Blackhawk Neff in the business sector, specifically the electrical sector, to serve on this advisory board for Lawrence County. Term of office February 1st, 2022 through June 30th, 2023. I'm assuming it's an unfinished term.
My understanding that it is, and I'd like to note that the gentleman that Mr. Neff is replacing is Joe Clavelli. And Joe has been on this board for least 20 years, at least. And has been very, very active on the board, and he recently decided to step aside. So our thanks go out to Mr. Clovelly for his years of service. And also just note the fact that the folks that comprise this board are all volunteers. They don't get paid for their service. So it's nice to see Mr. Neff coming on board. Thanks, Mr. Chairman.
Absolutely. Any other questions, comments? Take a motion to approve 29.
Second?
The motion is second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none. Question on the motion, Vanessa, please call the roll.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyd?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Up next, we have CYS. We have Mike and Nora with us today. Don't know who wants to approach the bench, or both want to approach the bench to talk about a resolution to onboard effectively an assistant solicitor for CYS at a contracted rate. Mike, how you doing today?
I'm doing great.
Good.
I don't have no handouts today.
Well, that's a good day for me.
That's okay, that's a good thing.
But what do we have going on?
But yeah, they enter an agreement for professional legal services with David Claus. He's gonna be assistant solicitor. Nora's gonna be, he's reporting directly to Nora.
Sounds good. And we're paying at a rate of $20,000 a year, which is in the budget. And correct me if I'm wrong, what this effectively does is whenever there might be a conflict due to Nora's caseload previously in the juvenile court system, Attorney Gloss will be able to step in and effectively alleviate that conflict.
Right, that's what I understand.
Awesome. So this actually is very much needed. This is it's just needed because, again, through Nora's long-standing service, there's bound to be conflicts involved.
Right.
And, what I like about this specific case is this individual is actually, my understanding, from Mercer County, which the implication there is that they have not been in the system nearly as much, and as a result, there's much less opportunity for there to be conflicts.
Yes.
So questions or comments on this?
I just want to comment to Nora, we just generally threw you into that mix and left you to fend for yourself and make your way as best as you could, and you have done just an exceptional job, and I want to say thank you and let you know that we do appreciate that, and hopefully having someone to assist you in those cases can alleviate the burden that is there. With a lot of the cases that have been lingering, that now you will have that opportunity to have someone right there with you as opposed to filling in hit and miss, and I think that is just something that will be beneficial for you to be able to handle the more complex cases that you are dealing with, because they're not going away and bound to take up much more of your time. So thank you, first of all, for stepping in and navigating those waters on your own and surviving it and doing well and rising to the occasion. And hopefully the addition of an assistant for you will further lighten that burden and then enhance the services that we can offer to the families that we come in contact with. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Commissioner Spielvogel. That's it.
Thank you both.
Thank
All
you,
I
Mike.
have, Mr. Chairman.
All right,
Thank you, Mike.
you're doing all right, though.
And it's not, and I know you guys are just, I don't want to say running rampant, but I'm going to say running rampant with just the COVID cases and who's in and who's out and continuing cases and things. So kudos to still continuing to get the work done.
Thank you.
All right, take a motion to approve 30.
So moved.
Second.
Motion second, any further discussion? Hearing none, question on the motion, Vanessa, please call the roll.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyd?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And up next, we have a couple of resolutions from the DHs and NHDS. Couldn't resist.
Of course you could.
And Scott, how you doing today?
I'm doing great, thank you.
What do we have going on here?
These are two new contracts through our early intervention department. These come up as the needs arise. And, to the first one, this is a contract between Lawrence County MHDS and Global Wordsmith. Contract will run from January 1st, 2022 to June 30th, 2022. And It's an entitlement service. There's no budget attached. So this is made whole through the early intervention waiver dollars that's paid as the needs arise. And Global Wordsmith is an interpreting service which covers deaf services, Spanish speaking.
I like that, I love that title. I just love the company name.
Yeah, they're located in Pittsburgh, PA, and
Mhm. Okay,
And George, Mike, we're just gonna take these together.
yeah, sure, absolutely.
okay,
Yeah, George Youth, again, this is a contract between Lawrence County MHDS and George Youth. Contract will run from January 1st, 2022 to June 30th, 2022. And again, this is an entitlement service. There's no budget attached. These services are paid 100% through state early intervention funding. And George Youth is a physical therapist located in Mercer, PA.
Great. Questions, comments for Scott?
He answered all my questions.
Mhm.
All right, we'll take a motion to approve resolutions 2022-31 and 2022-32.
So moved.
Second?
A motion second, any further discussion? Hearing none. Question on the motion, please call the roll.
Commissioner Steelvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyd?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you, thanks, Scott, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Steve Scott.
Up next, this is just a resolution amending the budget to account for additional revenues received in conjunction with the county's co-responder program, which was discussed at the last salary board meeting. All this is doing, it's a budgetary mechanism through which dollars can flow to pay for that additional position. I don't know if that's also correct, being funded out of MHDS. So again, thank you, Scott.
Mhm.
Any questions, comments on it?
No.
Hearing none, I'll take a motion to approve 33.
So moved.
Second?
We have a motion, a second, is there any further discussion? Hearing none. Question on the motion, Vanessa, please call the roll.
Commissioner Steelvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyd?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. And now we have a small number of budget transfers. First on deck, public safety, moving some West Core funding over to Region 13. There are a number of reasons for this. The short answer is that and we've talked about this, they changed the chart of accounts. And so we're having to realign different funding streams to new pots, and we're kind of building the planes we're flying it from a budgetary perspective as it relates to public safety right now. That's the general gist of it. This doesn't do anything to the overall budget, it's just shifting.
As long as it keeps the lights on out
That's
there.
absolutely
And the
right.
phones.
And the phones. And the phones.
And then next on deck, we're just transferring over some money, and I did this on purpose, in writing the budget, transferring over some land and building rental to gas, electric, water, sewage for Rick Russo's building. I put all of the funding for this under one line item, which was the land and building rental line item. The reason for that is my expectation was that we would be moving into a new space, and I didn't know necessarily what was gonna happen there budget-wise, so I just put everything into one category and figured we just transfer as we go. I'm hoping we'll have a resolution on that next week. But on that note, unless there's any questions, comments, I will take motion to approve administrative transfers A through D.
So moved.
Second?
Motion is second, any further discussion here, no question on the motion. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign, motion carries. No ordinances on the table for adoption for our action. Next commissioners meeting is scheduled for 10 a.m. Tuesday, February 1 in this room. Anything I'm missing there? This meeting. Did we schedule board of elections meeting?
Yeah, it's Tuesday the 1st at 9 a.m.
There you go. Where we will address Stickergate.
Yes.
Any public comments? Seeing none, any additional business, new business that anybody wants to bring up? All right, great. We will adjourn. Board's going to put questions.
Awesome.
Got this one.
Your voice held out.
It did.
It was squeaking a little bit near the end.
I had that water. How are the roads